Coming up next on Public Access TV is Fan to Fan, where we touch on all things sports in Framingham. Today it's Framingham High School Girls Basketball with head coach Kristen Audet-Fucarile and the team's tri-captains. Stay tuned. This will be fast-paced, so don't let it pass you by. This is Fan to Fan, where we touch on all things sports in Framingham. Hi, I'm your host, Dave Hornfischer, and today we talk Framingham High School Girls Basketball with its head coach, Kristen Audet-Fucarile, and the team's tri-captains, Nina, Caroline, and Allie. Coach, it's great to have you back here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
A lot has changed since I had you on here in 2018, I looked up.
Yes, a lot has changed.
Want to talk a little bit about the great transformation? And
yeah, last time you had us, we had two wonderful captains, Julia and Hannah, and they really helped us set the groundwork to a program that had high expectations. We have a great youth program now that has given it an opportunity for the kids to see what our motives and what we're trying to do. And then when they get to high school, they have great expectations for themselves and how to be a team player. And this past couple of years, we've kind of broken records for Framingham. We went from 1-19 the year that we were interviewed by you.
Well, we all smiled.
Yes, we did. They worked hard. It was a great team. To this past year being 6th in the state. So it's been a very exciting road to be on.
Well, before we get to too much of that, why don't I have you introduce your three tri-captains here?
Yep, so this is Nina Edwards. She's our senior captain. She's been with the program for 4 years. And then we have Caroline Galvani. She's also a senior, 4-year captain, 4-year player. And then we have Allie Regan, who's a junior captain and also has been a member for 3 years.
Well, why don't we let them tell us a little bit about their own basketball journeys that got you to be a senior tri-captain here at this Division I high school championship team.
Yeah.
Soon to be championship.
Yep. So I started playing basketball in about 4th grade. It was influenced by my parents. They both played in college. So I kind of looked up to them and I wanted to play basketball. I then went on to play AAU in the spring and fall. And in the winter, I would play for the town for throughout middle school. And then I went to high school and I made I made varsity my freshman year, and it's just been great since.
That's great.
Yeah.
Caroline?
I started around my 4th grade year too, but when I was younger, I did gymnastics, and so basketball wasn't really my thing.
I bet there's a connection there.
But my dad coached my sister in youth basketball, so I went to practices and stuff. So I kind of got into it that way, and then me and Nina actually play on the same AAU team. And then my thing was kind of the same as hers.
And Allie?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I started in 4th grade too. My mom played in college, so I always looked up to her. And then I had an older sister that played too, and I always wanted to be like her. I wanted to play basketball, and then I started AAU, and then I made varsity my freshman year, and now I'm here.
Well, that's amazing to make varsity your freshman year, so no wonder the team's doing so well. You all mentioned AAU, which I think that's a sign that A, you're pretty good, and B, that this is serious basketball. I mean,
we all play for the same program. We all play for Huskies.
Is that out of Framingham, or is it?
No, it's a Massachusetts thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you play with people from all over the state then?
Yeah.
And that's probably pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
AAU is pretty competitive.
And you started that when you were in high school?
Yeah, I think you start your freshman year, right?
I started 7th grade a little
Yeah,
younger.
middle school.
Oh, so until it goes
Yeah.
all that far. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Well, we have a short video about your successful year last year that was provided to us. It runs about 3 minutes. I think we'll run that through, and then later we'll pick a couple of the clips and let you all comment on, because they actually show you all making some great plays. So Coach wouldn't have given you anything but. She didn't throw it. She didn't give me the ones where you threw the ball into the crowd.
They don't see those.
We deleted those.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's run the video here, and it's really terrific.
Now get on your feet, put your hands together for your Framingham Flyers!
Favorite part about being a Framingham Flyer?
It's definitely my teammates and my coaches. This basketball team has never been closer.
And right off the bat, Katie Regan.
Nina Edwards has it down low, gets fouled and makes the basket.
Galvani step, shot, banks it home.
And it's thrown right up for Regan. Allie Regan getting glass and in.
Going the other way, Monesteem has the reply. Hannah, three-point shot is up and good. The freshman making it look easy for the Regan sisters. Diaz with a three-pointer. Chicopee, Allie Regan, a three-pointer of her own.
He's out Tracy and gets to Monesteem. Monesteem blows by Tracy. Euro step for two.
Katie Regan, top the perimeter between the circles, takes a three-point shot, and it's up and good.
Hands it off to Rabinovitz. It's just not fair.
Over. Monesteem just takes it away from her, was begging her on, just begging her to do that. Takes it down and puts it in.
Looking for an option. She'll put it off, and a beautiful pass from Monesteem. That'll give Nina Edwards her first pair.
Sends this one up. Rebound comes down. Jump ball between Gnome and Diddick. It'll stay with Framingham. On the perimeter, finds Galvani all alone. Three-point shot is up and good.
Runs into a Regan sister. Doubles back. That's taken away. Katie Regan with a head of steam. She's got two. Look at the Regan sisters go.
Gonna heave it across, and that's Galvani. The easy intercept, coast to coast, he goes for two.
Collins fakes, and it's rejected by Monesteem, who's had a monster year defensively, really all around.
Steam, a brick wall lays in a block. All the way up for Allie Regan.
Now another chance. Diaz underneath, another set.
They're on an island, right over for some help. Dane is swatted by Monesteem. That'll be staying. Tiger ball.
Madeline Gorney gets the rebound, kicks it back to Rabinovitz for the two-pointer.
Over for Hannah. Hannah for a three. Got it. Allie Regan, far corner. Katie Regan. That's going to be a long two.
Monesteem steals the ball away from Rotundo. Fakes her out.
11-7. Katie Regan. And with that, she has hit 1,000 career points around the world. Monesteem in the corner. Ducks under one. There it is. Selena Monesteem, 1,000 points, what a career.
Wow, it was quite a year. So I think you're going to be missing a couple players, though. I don't see them sitting here this year. So you've got some shoes to fill, girls.
Yes. Very
So, Coach, why don't you talk a little bit about last year's overall season and some of the tough games and tournament highlights and the graduates even, because you lost a couple of really terrific players.
Yes, we did. We lost two senior captains who also were 1,000-point scorers. That was Katie Regan and Selena Monesteem, who are both playing basketball in college right now. But this past year, we talked as a team of three really big games that were exciting this past year. We had a game against Brookline, who is always a really tough game. Started off the game down 3-17 in the first quarter. Pulled the group back together and refocused, and we came back hard against them in the second quarter to put 22 points right back at them and come back into the game. It was like electrifying. The whole group came together and just were not going to take any more punches from them. Another game that came to mind was the Wellesley game. Both teams were struggling to score, but defensively, both teams were just shutting down each other left and right. And we put in the last couple of baskets that took that win away, which was nice on Wellesley's senior night. So it was even more special for us to kind of put that one in. And then the last home game, we had 2 playoff games that we got to host because we were 6th in the state this year. And we played Quincy, and it was packed gym. We were thinking back of a few years ago, we were lucky if we could fill up one section of our bleachers. We had to pull down all 4 sections, all filled, white out. Unbelievable atmosphere. We had the youth teams there looking for autographs from these kids. We ended up winning the first round, going into the second round. It was just an unbelievable season. These kids played really well all year. They were like a family to us and the team. And the youth program just really looked up to all of them.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing the scene there, I mean, I have to admit, plead guilty. I haven't been to one of those games, but after watching that, I will be there this year, sling and all or whatever. But it's really a fun atmosphere, it just looks like, and the energy must be, it must carry over to the players, right? You all feel different when there's yelling and screaming and.
Yeah, it's definitely a little nerve-wracking at first, just because like all those people are watching you. But once you do the tip-off, they all go away, and it's just fun.
Yeah. So we're gonna run through a few of the highlights from that clip that we just watched, and I'll after each one, they're all about 10 seconds apiece. I'll give you or the coach a chance to just comment on the significance of that shot. I saw a bank shot that went in. I can't wait to see if that was on purpose or not. I made one of those once, and I'll never forget it. So, okay, why don't we run the first clip here? I love the Flyers. Named after the Air Force guys. Now get on your feet, put your hands together. You do that before every game? So that's part of getting the team together, right?
Yeah, we say whose house, and then either us or like whoever will say whose house, our house, and then we'll say whose house, our house, and then at the end we say Flyers on 3.
Okay, this is Penn State with the whiteout too. You didn't mention that, right? Do you do that all the time or just occasionally?
Normally playoff games or senior nights or big event nights.
Yeah. So does every fan just be asked to wear a white shirt, or do you actually give them one?
The fans come in white, yeah.
They're warned.
Yes, they're warned in advance.
They get kicked out if they don't wear it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next one here. We got, I think, all 3 of you involved in this one.
Nina Edwards has it down low, gets fouled and makes the basket.
Galvani step, shot, banks it home.
And it's thrown right up for Regan. Allie Regan getting glass and in.
So I would love to comment about all 3 of them in that one. You see in the beginning, Nina Edwards just rip a rebound down, and that kid is always doing that in games. She has a fierce presence inside the paint, constantly with her hands up looking for the ball. Then you've got our best shooter in the Bay State shooting next. Yes, it was a bank shot. Not quite sure she asked for that one, but she's a great shooter, phenomenal outside shooter. And then you see Allie at the end finish on the layup. She is always running nice and wide, looking for the ball, heads for the ball, always asking for it, hands up, finishes really smooth.
Power, accuracy, and speed, right? You put the 3 of them together, and all of a sudden you got 3 tri-captains. Yeah. Yeah, so wow. So any insights on that either of you had, Nina, on that rebound that you got?
I think it just shows the camaraderie of the team. We all know how we like to score. We all know our strengths, and when we set each other up for success, it really shows.
The rebounding is the work.
Yeah,
anybody can stand out there and bank one in. You know,
right.
But I mean, that looks very physical.
It is, and I don't mind it. It's fun for me.
Well, when you walked into the room, I had fear I was going to get checked. And that speeding layup there, you look like you were just in the right position.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have a bunch of teammates that are keep their eyes up and can get me the ball when they see me.
But being in position is important too to be there, right?
Yeah.
She's always in the right position. Like
runs the court very well.
You know, as I said, all 3 of those factors are, you know, when Belichick talks about offense, defense, special teams, all phases of the game, that's what the 3 of you, just in that one short video, just totally represented to me, and it's impressive. So let's check up another one here. I think this one's a Nina highlight.
For an option, she'll put it off, and a beautiful pass from Monesteem. That will give Nina Edwards her first pair.
Yeah, that clip, just like I said before, it just shows our camaraderie. She knows where I like to score, and I set myself up for success and have my hands ready and ready to shoot. So.
How does that happen? You probably played with her for 3 years, and
Yeah.
you practiced together, and
Yeah.
were you on an AAU team together? Or?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's just through the team.
Yeah,
just
you
like,
just kind of work together,
Yeah.
so you begin to know stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the coach helps too.
They all know where they like to shoot the ball, and especially if you get them there when they're set, their confidence goes right up. And that's one of Nina's sweet spots.
Okay, well, here's the next one coming up here. And it's always fun for the rebounder to score.
Yeah.
On the perimeter, finds Galvani all alone. Three-point shot is up and good.
I love that spot, like that little wing spot right there. Normally if like my player's late to close out, I'll just automatically put it up. Like that's just my favorite place to shoot, and I love shooting threes.
Do you guys charge to the basket a lot and then kick it out to a three-point shooter a lot? I was watching the Celtics last night, and they just seem to constantly do that.
Yeah, that's like the best way to get people on the perimeter open.
Yeah.
So,
Is there a way to steal the ball when you see somebody starting to do that? You
Yeah.
know they're going to kick it out?
yeah. But
Okay, well, speaking of a steal, I think we have a steal coming up in the next one here.
Gonna heave it across, and that's Galvani. The easy intercept, coast to coast, he goes for two.
yeah, normally like it's a lot of times I just like look at the person with the balls, like I look in their eyes, and I can see where they're gonna go, and then just it's easy to intercept.
Fun
them.
when you look that way and throw
Right.
it that way.
Yeah.
Right? And then you look out of place.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And it's also exciting too because if you see the whole play, you have Allie at the top with her wingspan, like all in the face of the defense. I mean, of the person with bringing up the ball, and you've got Lee just constantly looking for where that kid's going to try to get it to. So they kind of work together. They're in tandem up top.
There you go again with experience of playing together.
Yeah.
And, yeah, okay, so let's see. We got about two more coming up here. We got another one with a block and then some other fast action. So let's check out one more here.
Steam, who's had a monster year defensively, really all around.
Steam, a brick wall lays in a block. All the way up for Allie Regan.
I think in that clip, like, you can really see, like, our defense translating to, like, our offense. Like, we scored a lot off of, like, steals and blocks, and, like, I like to run the floor, so, like, it was always kind of, like, get it there.
Yeah, she's always there. I mean, that pass right to
I
her.
noticed in one of the clips, I don't know if it was that one, just when I was watching them beforehand, the positioning that you all seemed to have in the court. I mean, it was more on offense, but it seemed like you all had kind of a defined lane. It's almost like a hockey power play, I think, in some ways, where there's kind of a place where you want to be when the offense starts. Or is that true, or is that?
I mean, mainly when the team's getting back on defense, they go towards the middle. So what they do a lot when they're running wide, they're making it more challenging for the defense to stop them. So constantly you saw in that clip, Lee pushed the ball to the middle, but then Allie's kind of on the wing making that defense make a tough decision. Are you going to guard? Sorry, I keep calling her Lee. We call her Lee on the court.
I get Caroline.
Her name's Caroline, but we on a court, Caroline
figured that out.
is tough to scream, so we kind of will be like, Lee.
It's my middle name.
It's her middle name. So she pushes the ball right at the defense, and then you have, if we're running nice and wide, it gives the opportunities for an Allie or another wing to make a layup.
And then the last clip that we have here shows some of the other players who are on the team, because it's not just the three of you.
Yes.
Madeline Gorney gets the rebound, kicks it back to Rabinovitz for the two-pointer.
Over for Hannah. Hannah for a three, got it.
Yeah, so you just saw two, the last person who was shooting was Grace. She was a freshman, and then you had Zoe was a sophomore last year.
Yeah.
I'm like, now you guys are in new grade. Great outside shooters. We actually have 9 returners this year.
Really?
Even though I know we have 2 huge players that left us, we still have a really strong community that's coming back this year. So those are 2 of them that saw serious minutes on the court and looking for more this year.
So are you projecting a pretty good season this year with nine players coming back? That's pretty unique, isn't it? And,
Yeah.
I mean, you lost the 2,000-point scorers, but it looks like from the clips here, these your 3 stars here look like they know how to put the ball in the basket. I saw a lot of swishes. So
Yep.
so then the question comes is, how does one get to see these games? I understand you play double headers or triple headers or sometimes.
Sometimes we have double headers, but more the girls teams will play 3:45 for the freshman team.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I didn't know if you meant double headers
Yeah.
with the boys. And then the JV team will play at 5:15, and then varsity will play at 6:30. Games get pushed sometimes even later.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And a game typically, are you done in 2 hours or less? Each quarter is how long?
We were probably about an hour and a half per game around there. Around there.
And so do you play 2 halves or 4 quarters?
4 quarters. Yep.
And so let's get our players talk about, women's basketball has just really emerged so much in my lifetime, which is a long lifetime, and probably even some in yours. Although I was impressed that at least 2 of you had mothers who had played, and were kind of so you're sort of the next generation. They were the ones who were like Kristen probably here, who were early on, probably some of the forerunners of when the game, I bet, has changed a lot since you played.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's more reflected as well.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Just thinking about it, I think I've told them when I was their age or a little younger, they didn't even have a WNBA. So we didn't have this awesome role model to look up to, things like that. So it has changed in just the amount of love of the game on the women's side. It's been there. I think now we're just getting more publicity, which is awesome.
So why don't you each give me a brief overview of what are some of the people that you look up to and teams that you look up to, and whether it's college or WNBA or even the Celtics or whatever.
Yeah. So my favorite team is the Connecticut Suns. I've had the opportunity to go to their games and actually sit very close to the floor. And it's nice seeing how they talk to each other, how they bring each other up when they make mistakes. My favorite player is Olivia. I watched her when she was playing in college, which was at UConn. And just to see her at like the WNBA level is just amazing. Like, I love her game. I see myself in her. She's a center. So yeah.
With going to college and stuff, I've been to a few college practices and seeing like just players play at the higher level and how like they lift each other up in practice, and like obviously like we learn from that, and this year me and Nina and Allie are gonna try and do the same thing in practice, but like it's just nice to see older girls playing with each other and like how they do it. And also with like us, like the boys always had more fans than us, and now like last year and this year we've had much more, so it's
okay.
Yeah, I think it's cool to see like college basketball now on like TV. Like you see like people like Caitlin Clark and like Paige Becker is on like UConn and Iowa that like I feel like when I was younger I didn't really see, and like now that it's like all over like women's basketball, like college.
So when you look at them, I remember when I was working at Berkeley talking with musicians and them seeing somebody who was really good, and there were 2 possible responses. I could never be that good, or wow, if I keep doing this, I could do that. Is that what drives you?
Yeah, definitely. Seeing potential in yourself is a big thing for like, growing up and moving to the next level.
Even when you were younger, and you probably came to high school games and watched this team develop. And
well, I'm sure they were in the crowd when we were, and all of these records we were looking at, they were there.
Yeah.
Coach, you have a summer program that you've been doing for a while. We talked about it last time you were here.
Yep. We run Metro West Elite, and we've been running it for 7 years. Our first year we had 20 campers. This is an all-girls camp. And this past 2 years we've had 86 kids. We started off with having only Framingham kids. In the past 3-4 years we have about 10 surrounding towns that will attend camp, and it's all word of mouth. I think the best part of the camp is that these are your counselors right here. So a lot of the times the kids come to the games all year long, and then they're like, wait a minute, I get to hang out with Nina Edwards, I get to hang out with Allie Regan and Caroline Galvani, and it's exciting. They get to learn the basic fundamentals of the game, get attached to high school role models. It's so fun. The counselors and campers have a blast, and it's great.
I still remember when I was an elementary school student going to high school games. these were my local heroes. I couldn't relate to the Celtics who were off someplace, but my goodness, this was the girl who lived down the street from me, and she went to church or wherever I was or something. And oh my God, I could probably do that someday. And were you all part of this camp when you were in 5th and 6th grade? Or?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, I remember being the little kids looking up to the high school players. Like my sister played on the team, so I'd always look up to her. And it's cool to see, like you can see it in the little kids that they look up to us. And it's cool to see the effect that we have on them.
Get your autograph.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is really kind of what it takes to make a winning team, from a team that was one and too many to one that's now 6th in the state. And you have higher expectations than that even this year?
Yeah, I mean, we have the pedal down. We're going to keep moving and working harder, and we're talking about hiring nutritionists and different things like that to just get us even stronger as an all-around human being in the program. A lot of these kids want to play in college, and so getting those expectations met here gives them the setup for success later on.
You start to have college coaches coming to watch your games?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. A lot of them will ask for highlight reels or to talk to them or find out about them as a student athlete, which is very important for them. They're all really good students, which comes first. Yeah.
Do you all play other sports too besides basketball? Or? No. This is enough, huh? Yeah. So does she push you pretty hard?
Yeah.
Makes you better, right?
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day, huh? Yeah, so just back to the camp just briefly. So how does one, if there's somebody who's got a younger child out there who might be interested in this, how do they sign up for this?
So we have a website. We have our weeks that change sometimes, but online it's www.Metro-West Elite Girls Basketball.
Metro-West Elite Girls
Yep,
Basketball.
Girls Basketball.
All one long word.
Yep.
Yeah. And when does it start in the summer?
It starts in the summer. We're normally the last 2 weeks in July. This year we're going to be the first 2 weeks in July after.
And where do you do it?
We're hoping for the high school. That's our hope to go back. We've been at Walsh. We've been at Fuller. We've been at the high school. Our hope is to get back to the high school.
Wow. That's great. So what are some of the tougher games you're going to have this year you're looking forward to?
I think, first of all, the Bay State League is extremely challenging. I think it's the best league in Mass. We have some of the top teams. So we're going to see our biggest rivals like Natick and Newton and Brookline, Walpole. Walpole is always a challenging game for us every year.
You play all of them home and away?
So half the games we play, some teams like Newton, we would play back and forth, depending on how close they are to us. And then like the Weymouth, Braintree, Walpole, Needham, we only play them once. And then we have some non-league games. We have our own holiday tournament that we welcome in Chicopee, King Philip, and Shrewsbury.
Oh, great. Well, this could go on for a lot longer. We're unfortunately running to the end of our time here. I told you it would go by fast. But if anybody out there in TV land hasn't got enough of this, they should get down to Framingham High School. When's the first game?
December 8th against Weymouth.
December 8th.
Oh,
Okay.
Wayland, not Weymouth, Wayland.
Okay.
Yep, away, not at home.
Okay, the first home game is?
The 15th against Newton.
Okay, just before Christmas, then you take a little break and you have the tournament then. And
I'm hoping I'm giving the right dates out here. Yeah? Okay, good. They're confirming.
Well, anyway, we are at the end of our hour, folks. We'll get down and check this team out this year. This is going to be fun. I think this is going to be a special year, and even if they, well, we won't talk about if they lose a couple, but because they may not. You never know. They're not expecting to. But really, seriously, check this out. This is one of the real joys of living in a community like Framingham, and come back and watch us. We're on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday nights at 8:30 on your local cable TV, and these shows get put up on YouTube as well as the Framingham Access on-demand site. So lots of opportunities to see these stars in action this year. These are your local heroes. Remember, these are people you might see in the grocery store. They're not some strange person that you'll never see. So this is fun. Thanks for watching. Bye. Good night.